Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you today. Maybe by way of introduction, you could just begin with a bit of an overview of Echo. What can people expect when they watch it?
Echo is a new corner of the MCU. We're introducing viewers to Marvel's first Native American Indigenous badass, as we like to say. It's a little bit more of a grittier, street level, grounded side of things.
Of course, we were first introduced to Maya Lopez in Hawkeye in 2021. Kind of a villainous character. When did it first spark the idea, to kind of explore her backstory? And what were some of the most exciting opportunities do you think that allowed to kind of, it's particularly her Native American background, but also kind of her character arc? What were some of the things that had shaped her as a person?
Yeah, I think that was actually one of the most interesting things about me, and what kind of really, really attracted me to the project is that in Hawkeye, she's a villain. And, in talking with Marvel and as we were sort of formulating the ideas for the series and, as it was being written, the response was like, let's lean into that. Let's lean into the fact that she's a villain, and let's see how far we can push things, and let's see how far we can sort of push the envelope and move things along that. And again, because it's what's interesting about that is that you get a character that is that has several shades of gray. She's sure. What are her motivations? What are her aspirations? But then beyond that, it was incredibly exciting to explore, like, answer the question: how does a deaf Indigenous young girl from Oklahoma become a top lieutenant in Kingpin's army? It's almost like she has to work twice as hard to be half as good, or in this case, twice as hard to be half as bad. And how does she get on Kingpin's radar, and how does she elevate to the place of even becoming a Kingpin's successor potentially? Those are all sort of incredibly exciting things to explore. And I think for myself, her being Indigenous, that might be something that is different or other or foreign to other people, but it's something that's incredibly familiar to me because it's my lived experience. And so for us, it was so fun to kind of roll up our sleeves and get in there and develop the character.
As you say, I mean, it's just not something that we've ever seen on screen before. And the fact that the character is Indigenous, she's deaf, an amputee, and an aquacox. I mean, the way she takes on this role and doing the stunts, the MMA kind of background coming in, obviously, American Sign Language being used on set. Why was she the right person to take this on? And what was it like on the shoot?
Oh, man, I cannot speak. I cannot say, I don't have enough superlatives to describe Laco Cox. She's beautiful. She's amazing. She's charismatic. The camera loves her. She's a badass, but also like just the nicest person in real life. It's funny too, because sometimes you're looking at Maya Lopez and you're kind of getting intimidated behind the camera. I'm like, oh my, is she going to do? And then and we cut, and then we go and we talk, and like, oh yeah, she's actually an incredibly nice, giving, warm person. But she just has that innate ability and that raw natural talent that allows her to go toe to toe with somebody like Vincent D'Onofrio in a scene, acting wise, and again, I can't imagine what that must have been like for her, because her entire film experience was a few days on Hawkeye before this. So to go from that, to go from a few days on Hawkeye to being the lead of a Marvel series that shoots for over 90 days, it takes a very strong individual to be able to navigate all of that, and she did it effortlessly.
And to have that kind of representation, like you say, leading a show like this, I mean, it seems symptomatic of a really exciting time in TV, in film, and particularly in the MCU, we're perhaps moving away from some of the stereotypes that sort of, seem to be pervasive in the past. And it's just really a refreshing thing to see on screen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that the past few years and in upcoming projects can and will teach us is that any preconceived notions we have about what is possible in Hollywood are limitless, right? You know, one of the things, you know, but I think representation is key, and that means you have to hire Indigenous voices, you have to hire deaf voices, you have to hire people who have these authentic experiences to create a more, to create a more authentic product, basically. For example, one of the things that we all learned in the writer's room in writing the character is that deafness can be hereditary, you know? And so what that meant is that it would make sense for one of Maya Lopez's parents to be deaf. And that resulted in the creation of Maya Lopez's mother, who is also deaf. And so I think typically on paper, Hollywood might be a little hesitant to say, oh, we have one deaf Indigenous actress. I don't know if we can get two, but the answer to that is absolutely. And we found an amazing actress named Katriana Zervogel to play her mother, who is also deaf, who is also Indigenous, and the two of them just have a really great, beautiful dynamic.
Thank you so much for sharing that with me, and huge congratulations on such an amazing series. Can't wait for everyone else to see Echo. Thanks so much.